And if all you learn is end, you don't have an understanding of the guitar. You have an understanding of gravity, right? What I've always done, and now what I try to suggest other people do, is understand that that's part of a much larger scale that goes all the way across the neck. So it's not just, well, that's G, pentatonic. So you can, or it's really, I'm playing it sort of a major pentatonic, but. And I can go. C, C, C. See? So whatever you learn is the tip of the iceberg. Dive underwater and find the rest of the iceberg, and you can rip me off in more fundamental ways. And I mean this.
What you see here is all the notes of a C major scale all at once from one end of the guitar to the other. And that's basically how I see scales. I see them from the lowest note to the highest note. I don't have a different name for a different scale that starts on any one of these notes, which there is. You can practically name any scale, come up with a different name from any note that you can start on. But for me, for the way my music is, it didn't really help. It was kind of a hindrance, really. So I abbreviated it to these symbols. And this first one, which means really like a D minor with a natural 6 to me. So that's what this is. And like I said, when I see scales, I see them the whole guitar neck like that. So it's just up to me to juggle the notes around and improvise and make melodies out of them. I think a good way to begin practicing scales basically is to try playing more than 3 notes on a string, just so you can break away from playing in a pattern.
When John Mayer says, if you learn what's underneath the iceberg, you can rip me off in many different ways, this is what he means. You'll be able to take a song and put your own little vibe over it. Now the question is, what's underneath the iceberg? Is it the cage system? No. Is it the 3-2 system? No. Is it a million chord shapes? No. Is it a million triads? No. Is it some guitar trick or guitar hack you found online? No. Is it most of the shit you see online? No. It's simpler than that. All it is seeing pentatonics and chords at the same time, similar to what Allan Holdsworth says, seeing the scale across the whole fretboard, but this time we're going to add chords to it. So in this video I'm going to show you how I would see that in my own way. It's not that complicated, and I'm sure that if you practice it you can get some cool John Frusciante, John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix stuff going, because they use the pentatonic scale a lot. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Yeah, I'll see you at the end or something. In this video, I'm going to show you how I see chords and scales on the fretboard to enable me to do all of that Jimi Hendrix stuff you see me doing. Stuff like that. So I won't go through the theory in this video because I've already covered it in module 1. I'm sure you understand it already. It's going to be a lot of memorization. Not too much, but you'll get it easily. So the first thing we're going to do is cover the 5 pentatonic shapes in a nutshell. And then I'll show you how I would practice them to get fluent in them and just sound cool. So we'll start in the key of G. We've got the G major scale. If we take out the intervals 4 and 7, we've got G major pentatonic. And if we stack the shapes in different ways, we get the 5 pentatonic shapes, which I showed in module 1. So let's go to shape 1. That's going to start on the open E string. and it's gonna look like this. That's gonna be open E string, 3rd fret, open A string, 2nd fret, 0, 2 on the D string, 0, 2 on the G string, 0, 3 on the B and E string. Now when I'm learning stuff, I'll always find ways to learn it a little bit faster. So with this, I'd probably think, okay, it's just 0, 3 on the 1st string and the last 2 strings. I'll just make the 0, 2 part autopilot so I don't have to think of it. The fingers I'm using my 3rd finger for the 3rd fret and 2nd finger for the 2nd fret. So yeah, what I'll do to practice this, I said I'll leave this to the end when we've gone through the shapes, but I'll just say this now. Put on the backing track, G major backing track, yeah? And just go through the pentatonic shape until it's in your muscle memory. It doesn't have to be anything advanced. You get more advanced the more you use it and the more you learn songs that use it. So when you learn your Jimi Hendrix songs or whoever it may be, you'll see how they use it to do all of that stuff with that shape. But for now, keep it nice and simple. This is how I sounded when I started doing these pentatonics. Once you've done that enough times and it's in your muscle memory and you can remember it, move on to the next shape. So the next shape's going to start on the 3rd fret. It's going to be 3-5. Start with your middle finger, then pinky. And then it's going to be 2-5, 1st finger, then pinky. Rule of thumb, if there's 1 fret in between, then, what was I saying? Then, okay. If there's 2 frets in between, use your 1st finger and pinky. If there's 1 fret in between, use your 1st finger and 3rd finger, or 2nd finger and pinky. In this case, 2nd finger and pinky will make it a bit more efficient. So I got 2nd finger, pinky, 3rd fret, 5th fret, then 1st finger, pinky, 2nd fret, 5th fret on the A string. Same thing for the D string. Then 2nd finger, 4th fret. 2nd fret, 4th fret on the G string. Yeah, just look at my fingers, bro. 1st finger, 3rd finger. And then we've got 3rd fret, 5th fret on the B and E string. If anything, just start with your 2nd finger and just make sure that none of your fingers leave the frets they're on. So 2nd finger is going to be on the 3rd fret, pinky's going to be on the 5th fret, 1st finger is going to be on the 2nd fret, and 3rd finger is going to be on the 4th fret. Yeah, so that's what the shape looks like. To practice this again, G major backing track, and I'll just noodle through it. See if you can skip strings. You don't have to go up linearly, in a linear way, linear way all the time, like 1 string at a time, but maybe go from E string to D string, A string to G string. That sounds kind of pretty. You might be asking, how should I pick it and stuff? I'll get into that later. Don't worry. Just pick it. Pick the notes. When you're comfortable with that, connect shape 1 with shape 2. Yeah? And when you can put shape 2 and shape 1 together confidently with muscle memory, move on to shape 3. Shape 3 is going to start on the 5th fret, and it's going to look like this. 5th fret and 7th fret of the E, A, and D string. Start with your 2nd finger. 2nd finger, pinky. Then Then you've got 4th fret and 7th fret of the G string, first finger pinky. And then you've got 5th fret, 8th fret of the B string, first finger pinky. Then 5, 7 on the E string, first finger, third finger. Again, same thing. Go through your G major backing track that you found on YouTube. Doesn't even have to be a backing track, maybe a metronome, or just sit there and just make little melodies out of it, right? I'll make it more basic. Down picking, by the way, nothing advanced. Once I'm good with that, I'll connect with shape 1, shape 2, shape 3. I'll connect the 3 shapes together. A nice little thing you can do to practice this is pick 2 strings and go up horizontally with the pentatonic shapes. So we know shape 1 is like over here, and then you can go up to the 3rd fret of the B and E string. Still shape 1 and shape 2. Then you can go up to the 5th fret of the B and E string. That'll be shape 2 and shape 3. And then you can go up to the 8th fret of the B string and 7th fret of the E string. That's like shape 4 and shape 3. So picking 2 strings and just going horizontally with them, so you're not stuck going vertically all the time. Next shape, shape 4, it's going to start on the 7th fret of the E string, and then we're going to go up to the 10th fret on the E and A string. Then 7, 9 on the D string and the G string, and then 8, 10 on the B string, and then 7, 10 on the E string. I start with my first finger, and again, since it spans between like 3 frets, I'm using 1 finger for each fret. Again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Put on a G major backing track, a metronome, or just sit there and make melodies out of it. Get it into your muscle memory. After I've done that for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, connect it with the other shapes you've learned before. So you keep recalling the shapes that you've learned before, so it's hard to forget them, right? You get the picture. Let's go on to the last shape, shape 5. That's going to start on the 10th fret of the E string. You're going to start with your middle finger. Middle pinky on the E and A string, 10, 12. And then the next 2 strings is going to be 9, 12. And then 10, 12 again on the last 2 strings. This is shape 5, and this is the last shape. So we'll do what we did before. Again, backing track, metronome. We'll just sit there, go through each shape and connect them all together until you don't have to be super confident with it, but if you think about it, you know where the right notes are for the pentatonic. It's not something where you're like, oh, I don't know where to find my note, but you can see the shape on the fretboard. Even if it's just going up and down like that. Even if it's just going up and down like that, just do that, bruv. Right? got the 5 shapes, and after shape 5, it repeats itself. We're on shape 1 again. But this time there's no open string, so you'll be on the 12th fret, and it'll be first finger pinky, 12 to 15. Think like this, 12, 15 on the first string and last 2 strings. The other strings are going to be 12, 14. And there you go. I need to sneeze. I don't need to sneeze. I need to sneeze. Those are the 5 pentatonic shapes, and it repeats itself after shape 5, obviously. So how would I practice this properly? Not that what you was doing before wasn't proper, but in module 1, I talk about right, left, center, and like using that logic to jump in different directions on the fretboard. So I'll use that to kind of flow through the shapes. That principle. Don't think, oh, I have to use right position, I have to use center, I have to use left. It's just the principle. It's to get you thinking of this one direction of thinking, like, oh, I have to go vertically. But you can go this way, you can go that way, you can start on this finger, use that finger. The second thing I would do is use hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. This is how I gain speed personally, because I suck at picking. I'm not bad at it, but I suck at, like, you know, like metal guitarists can be like, I can't do that. So with all of this, when I'm doing my fast lines, hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides. So again, pull on a backing track, metronome, whatever. Start slow. Focus on getting the technique down, making sure that your hammer-ons are strong, your pull-offs are strong, and over time, just speed it up. Yeah? A little exercise you can do is have a constant barrage of notes that you have to play without stopping to see how well you know the shapes. So when I put on a backing track or when I'm practicing, I'll sometimes keep playing until I hit a wrong note. So it looks something like this. I have a metronome or backing track, whatever it is. I'll just keep playing through the pentatonic shapes. If that's too easy, then make it faster. I hit a wrong note, and then I'll stop and do it again and again. But you can see like progressive overload in the gym. If it's too fast, then you know you're growing a bit, but after you've done that for a bit, then just bring it back to the weight level you're comfortable with. In this case, whatever tempo it is, BPM. But other than that, I'll just practice using right center left principles to flow through the shapes. And then just work out stuff for yourself as well. If one finger doesn't work or it's not as efficient, don't use that finger, use a different finger. Try a different way. Think of different ways you can flow through the shapes using hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. That's what I've done, and you know, the results speak for themselves, right? So yeah, that's what I would do to practice it. And if you do this enough times, you know, I'd say after a month, really, you're going to be able to play through the shapes easily. But you just have to keep doing it. There's one more thing I'll add, because I did this to practice my hammer-ons and pull-offs, but only pick once per string, no matter how many notes you play. So if I'm playing, I don't know, a phrase like that, I won't be allowed to be like, I'm only allowed to pick once per string. That will help me practice my hammer-ons and make sure that I'm doing the technique properly. And so on. So practice picking once per string with the hammer-ons and pull-offs. But main thing is start at a slow tempo and pick it up as you go along. So let's see how chords fit into this. We know that our key starts on the 3rd fret of the low E string, and the key is G. And then if we do our major scale across one string, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 again. But we start our pentatonic on the open string, so what note would that be? If we start on the 3rd fret, that's 1. Behind 1, we know that's 7. And then if we go back 2 frets, that's going to be 6. Now these notes are on the E string, which means our root note for the chords we're about to play are going to be rooted on the E string, right? Don't forget that. Think, if I'm on the E string, I play these chords specifically. So let's start with 6, the open E string. I'm not going to go into the theory of this, just remember, write this down, just make a note on your phone or something. The chords go like this: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Again, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Oh my gosh. So, the 6th chord, sixth is a minor chord. And we started on 6 on the low E string, the open E string. So for this chord, we're going to play an E minor shape. When my chords are rooted on the E string, I'm thinking E minor shape or E major shape. Now because 6 is not a major chord, I'm going to do an E minor shape. If we were on, let's say the open E string was 5, then I'd do an E major chord, because the 5th chord within a key is a major chord. But since we're on 6, it's a minor chord. So, what I do then, if I'm just sitting alone and just noodling on my guitar, to practice seeing the chords and scales together, I'll play my minor chord, and then on top of this chord, play the pentatonic shape that's within, the area of that chord. It's going to be shape 1 pentatonic. Now you could record yourself just playing an E minor chord, and then on top of that, play the shape 1 pentatonic. Now 6 is one of my favorite chords, because once I know where 6 is on the E string, I can start doing all of that sort of thing. It's a very, very, very overplayed shape, and you see it in a lot of music, that shape 1 pentatonic. So whenever you're on 6 on the E string, just think, oh, I'm in that shape where I can do all that bluesy kind of Hendrixy stuff. So yeah, connect the chord with the shape around it. The next chord is going to be 7. That's going to be on the 2nd fret of the low E string, and the shape's going to look like this. Use the bottom part of your middle finger to mute the A string, and try not to play the high E string. You can use your first finger to mute it, but that's the shape I would use for the diminished chord on the 7. Now I know major pentatonic doesn't have a 7 in it, right? It's just 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. But when it comes to improvising, if I've got a note that's not part of the scale, like, I don't know, on 7, obviously the 7's not going to be part of it, I'll just add that note into the scale I'm playing, right? So you could say that the second fret of the low E string and the first fret of the B string don't belong in that shape 1 pentatonic. But what I'll do is, since that chord's within the same key and I know it would work diatonically, I'll just add that note into whatever improvisation I'm doing on top. Let me not use my thumb, I'm not allowed to, I have to use my fingers. So I'll strum the chord in the background. To be fair, it sounds nice with the open E string. And on top of that, play some pentatonic lick with, I don't know, the chord. But anytime I'm on chord 7 on the E string, again, I'm thinking, oh, this is within my shape 1 area. And now it's a chord with like notes that don't belong in the scale, the pentatonic scale at least. You can kind of map out where your diatonic notes are from that chord. So if you want to add diatonic notes to the major pentatonic, so 4 and 7, your 7's going to be on the second fret of the low E string, right? Your other diatonic note's going to be on the first fret of the B string. And I think, yeah, that's 4. So within shape 1, you can think, okay, you know, my diatonic notes are also on the second fret of the E string and first fret of the B string. So whenever you play shape 1 in any other place, you can be, oh yeah, I can add these notes in and it'll sound alright based on what you do. Next shape, or chord I should say, is going to be a G chord. Since it's a major chord within our key, it's going to use an E shape, E major. But we're moving up to the 4th fret and barring the 3rd fret. Again, excluding the diminished chord that was 7, for all of the other chords, if they're major or minor shapes on the E string, I'm using an E minor shape and E major shape. So on the G chord, I know that sits within shape 2 pentatonic. So whenever I'm on the 1 within my key, I'm thinking, oh, this is next to within shape 2, I should say. So you can strum a G chord in the background and then connect it with shape 2 pentatonic. Or do this, strum a G chord and then strum an E minor chord. When you're on G, play shape 2. When you're on E minor, play shape 1. Maybe add the 7 in. I can't use my thumb, sorry. And so on. But you're still within that shape 1 and shape 2 area. Let's move on to the next chord, A minor. This will be 2 within our key. When people are talking about chord progressions as 1, 2, or 6, 5, 4, or whatever number it is, this is what they mean. So if someone said, yo, we're playing a 1-6 progression in the key of G, I know 1 is G and 6 is E minor. And then I know I can solo with those 2 shapes. You don't have to be limited to them, but you know what I'm trying to say. So A minor is the next chord on the 5th fret of the low E string. Again, it's a minor chord, so I'm taking an E minor shape and playing it up here. I know that 2 sits within shape 3 pentatonic that we just learned. So what you can do is strum an A minor chord and then play shape 3 pentatonic over it. The next chord is going to be B minor. And this is also one of them chords that have a note that's outside of the pentatonic. So this will be within shape 4 pentatonic. But the notes that are not part of the pentatonic will be on the 9th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the B string. But as I said before, just add those notes into it. So you don't need to think of much theory at all when it comes to adding notes that are not part of whatever scale you're playing. You can just think, okay, I'm playing the same scale. But you can visually look at your hand and be like, oh, this note's not part of it, but you can add it in since, you know, it works with that chord. Can't use my thumb. So whenever I'm on the 3 chord within a key, I'm automatically thinking, oh, I'm next to shape 4. I'm within shape 4 pentatonic. And it's the same thing for the 4 chord, C, which starts on the 8th fret of the low E string. I'm automatically thinking 4, okay, I'm within shape 4 pentatonic. Can't use my thumb. It has a note that's not part of the scale. That's going to be the 8th fret of the low E string. And is there any more? And the 8th fret of the high E string. So you can add those 2 notes into your shape 4 pentatonic. And slowly you're adding your diatonic notes without thinking, oh, what number is this, what number is this? But you know your chord has that note that you can add to the pentatonic scale. So yeah, same thing, chord, backing track, play over it. Next chord's going to be D. This is also one of them chords that have a note that's not part of it, but this will be within shape 5 pentatonic. And the note that's not part of the shape 5 pentatonic will be the 11th fret of the G string. So you can add that in. Yeah, if you don't add it in, you can get away with it, but this is called targeting chord tones, and this is a simple way to think of it. Just look at your hand. Does it contain, I don't know, any notes that are not part of the scale? Yes, add it into your scale. And last but not least, well, that was it, to be honest. We're back to 6 again. This will be E minor. We're just going to bar the 12th fret and, I don't know, 3rd finger and pinky on the 14th fret of the A and D string. Don't worry if this chord's too high for you. I'm going to give you a little fix after this. But this is back into shape 1 pentatonic, and the shape's looking like this. So if someone's playing E minor over here, you can think, oh, I can play my shape 1 pentatonic over here. No fun. So that's just the E string. What I would do is look at the diagram I've attached to this lesson and memorize the chords going across the E string. You can memorize it from 1. I've started on 6 for the sake of convenience when teaching this, because I think G major is the easiest way to teach the pentatonics going across the fretboard. But yeah, memorize them from 1 to 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. 8 is the same as 1. In the case of G, start with E minor, bro. E minor, G flat diminished, G, A minor, B minor, C, D, back to E minor. And then for every chord, see if you can play the pentatonic that goes with it. Not the pentatonic that goes with it, but the pentatonic it's within, right? So this will train you to see the chords and scales at the same time. So when you've got a song, let's say, I don't know, let's say Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, or that other woman that made the song that he apparently ripped off. You can play 1 and 2. That's the chord progression for the song. But if someone says, yo, do a guitar solo for it, you know that within that G chord, your 1, you can play shape 2 pentatonic. On the 2, you can play shape 3 pentatonic. And then when you're confident, you don't have to think, oh, G's here, so I need to use shape 2, and 3's here, so I have to use shape 3. You'll just be able to just fly through them. You don't have to start in shape 2. If someone's playing G, start in shape 4. If someone's playing the 3 chord, oh no, you can start in shape 5. Yeah, it's not fixed where, okay, your chord's here, so you have to play here, but you can play anywhere. You know, if someone's already handling the rhythm guitar in the background, you don't have to worry about that. But if not, and you're wanting to do Hendrix stuff that I do, then that's why I stay in one place when I'm doing it. But I don't have to do all the time. I could do stuff like this. Can jump around everywhere, but that comes in time, so just practice it. Now if I've got chords that are too high, let's say that E minor, that's a bit of a pain to play. I'll also play my chords on the A string, and I only use the E and A string for the majority of my chords. Rarely you'll see me like play chords on the D string and stuff like that. I can, but most of the time it's just E and A string because it just works for me. So for the A string, it's going to be similar to the E string, where on the E string we have 2 shapes, E minor and E major. On the A string, it's going to be A major and A minor. Now, if we look at our key, the note style on the A string is going to be an open A, and within our key, that's going to be the 2. We know 2 is a minor chord, so I'll use an A minor shape. Yeah, and I won't play the E string. The chords are rooted on the A string, so don't play the E string for any of this. The low E string, the high E string's fine. So we have A minor. This is also within shape 1. So I'll just do a little noodle with shape 1. The next chord is going to be 3. That's going to be on the 2nd fret of the A string. Since it's a minor chord, I'll take that A minor shape and move it up 2 frets, 1, 2, and bar the 2nd fret of the guitar from the A string. I'm using the tip of my first finger to mute the E string. Got a B minor chord. The next chord's going to be the 4. That's going to start on the 3rd fret of the A string, and we'll use an A major shape for this one. Yeah, gonna move it up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, and then bar the 3rd fret of the A string from the A string. A lot of people do something like this and wonder why it sounds wrong. Just go to your open chord shape and bar the strings behind the nut. Yeah, between that there's 1 fret in between your chord shape, so make sure you don't lose that shape as you go up. The next chord is going to be the 5 chord. That's going to be on the 5th fret of the A string. And then 6, starting on the 7th fret of the A string. This is a minor chord, so use an A minor shape. Oh, I forgot to do pentatonic shapes with it. But you get the picture. So for the A minor, shape 1. For B minor, you can use shape 2 and shape 1. For C, shape 2. Again, add in notes that aren't part of the scale. This will help you with adding diatonic notes in the future. And then D, I'll do shape 4, shape 3, pentatonic. And then E minor, this is within shape 4 pentatonic. This is one of my favorite shapes because you can do a lot of funky stuff with the E minor chord. But yeah, anytime someone says 6 on the A string, I'm automatically thinking, oh, that's shape 4 pentatonic. None of these shapes move or change. They remain the same, so just try and remember this. I mainly remember 6 because that's where I do all that type of bluesy stuff. So yeah, but if you want to remember 5 or another one, then do that. The next chord's a nice shape. It's the diminished chord though, so it's going to start on the 9th fret of the A string. And you've got this, first finger on the 9th fret of the A string, third finger on the 10th fret of the D string, second finger on the 9th fret of the G string, and pinky on the 10th fret of the B string. Use your pinky to mute the E string, and use your tip of the first finger to mute the low E string. This is still within shape 4 pentatonic, so you can add it to that, or shape 5. And lastly, we're back to our 1 chord, G, and that's going to be on the 10th fret of the A string. I need to sneeze again. So this one's a bit hard to play. What you can do as well is put your first finger on the 10th fret of the A string, and then play the 12th fret of the D, G, and B string with your third finger. That's how I would play the chord if it's too high up, because I know it's an awkward fingering, especially if you're barring it. Like, that's basically impossible. It's not impossible, but it's really hard. So after that, it just restarts again. This will be A minor on the 12th fret, and again it's within shape 1 pentatonic like it was down here. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now when it comes to chord progressions, this is how I'm thinking. If someone said, okay, we're in the key of G, we're going to do a 1, 4, 5 progression. I know my 1 is on the 3rd fret of the low E string, so I'll play that bar chord, E shape. I know my 4 is on the 8th fret of the low E string, so I can play it up here. And then my 5 is up 2 frets, so I can play it there as well, on the 10th fret. Then back to 1. Could do something like this. That was a 1, 4, 5 progression, but it can get a bit tedious having to jump from here to here to here. You can do it if you want, like depending on what you want to do. But you can also just think, okay, I know my chords on the A string, so I can also play the 4 on the 3rd fret of the A string, and my 5 is again 2 frets up. The guitar's symmetrical, the patterns stay the same, and then I've got my whole chord progression in this one note area. So the little rule I follow is if the chord I want to play is too high up on the E string, I'll just find it lower down on the A string. And if it's too high up on the A string, I'll find it lower down on the E string. That's just how I think, and that's what works for me personally. Someone might have a better way. So if anyone does tell you a better way, then feel free to listen to them. But that's what I've been doing, and it works. So yeah. And when it comes to soloing over it, 145. I'll be lying if I said I focus on chord tones. I really don't. To me, it's more intuitive. I'll just play the live out pentatonic, and then when I solo, bro, I'm just hoping for the best. If I want to be more intentional, then I can think, okay, yeah, G's here. The notes on my chord are the ones I'm looking at right now. So within shape 2 pentatonic, I can target those notes. And then for the C chord, again, it's within shape 2 pentatonic, so I can use that shape and then play the C, well, the notes of C. And then for the D chord, it's within shape 3 pentatonic, but I can look at my hands visually and think, okay, within shape 3 I can play those notes. To work with the chord tones I'm playing. But obviously, if you learn how to construct chords and you learn how to play chords in different ways, you won't be limited just looking at your hand, but you can think, okay, even though I'm playing G here, I could do, even though I'm playing C here, even though I'm playing D, and back to G. You can learn how to play the chords in different places and, I don't know, have more fun with it. But in a nutshell, for all of this, yeah, all you have to do is this. 1, memorize the 5 pentatonic shapes across the whole fretboard. We've gone through how to practice them, put on a backing track in G major or a metronome, and just get them into muscle memory, 1 shape at a time, then connect shape 1, shape 2, then shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, then shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, shape 4, and so on. And then when it comes to technique, for me personally, I use hammer-ons and pull-offs a lot. So I'll pick ones per string and make sure that my hammer-ons are strong and my pull-offs are strong. And they sound clean. And I'm not like hitting accidental strings or something. Like that. Yeah? And when it comes to building speed, I'll start the metronome on a pace I can handle. And gradually increase it using hammer-ons pull-offs. My hands are tired. That's my excuse. And again, when it comes to navigating it, module 1, right, center, left, use those principles to go in different directions. You don't have to start on your first finger all the time. Use slides and just... Ouch! My fingers haven't healed yet. But use slides to go through the pentatonic shapes and connect them all together. Don't get into the habit of staying vertical, but go horizontal. Pick 2 strings you want to play and go horizontally across the pentatonic shape. Yeah, stuff like that. Make up your own exercises to, drill it into yourself. Pause. What else you can do? Different rhythmic variations for the notes you play. So obviously you can do quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then you double it. Do double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another thing you can do is triplets. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Stuff like that. If I was to do that across the fretboard, I've got this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or just add some swing to it, some bounce. da da ga gi ga da ba da 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 din dina dina da da di da di da di da di da di da 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 da. So that's how I would practice the pentatonics. When it comes to the chords, I would play the chord and then add it to the pentatonics. So I'll play a chord and then think, okay, is this in shape 1? Yes, play shape 1 over it. This is still within shape 1, play shape 1 over it. I can't use my thumb. Oh, it's so awkward without my thumb. And then next chord, G. Just go up the chords in a key and see where they fit within the pentatonic, so that whenever you're playing a song and you know where your chords are and you know what key it is, you can think, okay, even though, you know, I might be playing the chord, around this one G chord, I can still see my shape 2 pentatonic. Yeah. Or even just leave out the pentatonic. Play the chords in a key across the E and A string within that key. So if I said 1, 4, 5, you could do it like this. 1. Since you know it's on the E string and you know it's a major chord because you took notes earlier, you can play a major chord. Then 4, 5. But that might be awkward. You don't want to play the chords up there. Do what I said. Move it to the A string. Since it's on the A string, you know that you can use an A major shape. Let's say, I don't know, I'm doing 4, 5, 6. I could play 4 over here. 5, 6. But the 6 is a bit awkward, so again, I'll go to the A string. I know 4's here. 5, 6. That's how I think when I'm playing, when I'm doing my gigs, when I'm soloing over random songs and improvising over them. This is how I play my chords. I don't complicate and learn a million chords, even though I know a million chords. That comes in time when you're learning different songs and different things. But as a foundation, E string, E shape, and E minor shape, minus the diminished chords, you're going to have to memorize those separately. Then A string, A minor, and A major shape. D string, D shape, and D minor shape. But that's the gist of it. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm gonna add some diagrams in the key of A and then the key of E flat, so you can see how it would work in different keys. But it's the same principles. The only thing that's changing is where we're playing the chords and where we're playing the pentatonic shapes. But it's all gonna be the same pattern, same thing. And to practice over that, you know, do the same things I was saying in this video. Get a different backing track for the key of A. We know that 1's always within shape 2 and 6 is always within shape 1 pentatonic. So all you have to do is practice moving it into different places across the fretboard. And when it comes to making it stylistic and cool, that's where learning songs come in, because then you'll learn how Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, whoever you listen to, as I've said, uses that shape to do all of that. But you'll see why people like shape 6, because that's where all of that stuff. All that sort of thing come in. So yeah, if there's any questions, let me know. I was gonna do a separate video for the key of A and E flat, but seeing how long this one took me, I don't think I will, man. I'm sure you don't want to listen to me for that long as well, but just replay the video at, you know, different points you're stuck on. I'll add timestamps below, so you know you can go back to it easy. And again, the diagrams are attached below with the pentatonic shapes and tab. Think about using your fingers efficiently, especially when it comes to moving throughout the shapes, and just play the life out of them. That's all I can say. That's what I did, and now I can just play them like that. I don't have to think too much, and it sounds cool. And when you get really fluent with it and you start learning Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan and so on, you're gonna realize that, bruv, for the most part, they've just used this pentatonic scale. Of course, I add notes here and there, but for the majority of the time, it's literally... Little Wing's in the key of G, so if you get good at what I've just shown you in this video, you can play Little Wing quite easily. But they're always doing stuff like... Okay, maybe not this. That's all pentatonic. It's not like some crazy jazz scale, but whatever chord I'm on, I'm just thinking the same thing. Let's say I'm in the key of E. I know my pentatonic shapes around that chord. Okay, I go to the second chord within E major. That's gonna be F sharp minor. I know this is within shape 3 pentatonic. To the next chord within the key, G sharp minor, that's within shape 4 pentatonic. Go to the next chord, that's going to be A major, that's going to be still within shape 4 pentatonic. But I also know I can play an A chord over here, and this is within shape 2 pentatonic. I can move it to shape 3 pentatonic. And so on, and even if I'm playing here, the open A chord, I can still use shape 4 pentatonic. You don't have to be limited to where you are on the fretboard, but as long as you know where your shapes are and you can see it, why not play it, right? The next chord would be B major. This will be within shape 5 pentatonic. The sixth chord would be C sharp minor, and we know 6 on the E string is just that beautiful shape 1 shape. So yeah, that's how I think of it. That's how I see the fretboard to do the stuff that I'm doing. A lot of people don't make the connection between pentatonics and chords. So I'm hoping that this video was helpful and you gain a lot of value from it. If there's anything I could have improved on, please let me know. I was going to say don't let me know because I don't want to record the whole video again. It's like 1 hour and 53 seconds now. But yeah, I'm going to edit this, add the diagrams, and then post it to the... I'm going to change the module name. I don't know what I'll change it to. I'll probably keep it as warm-ups, but we'll see. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Peace.